Hey, I'm Lance Howerton with Crossings Ministries. I'm going to answer the question, what's the most important characteristic of a biblical leader? About 30 years ago, I was at my brother's house over Thanksgiving. There was 12, 13 of us sleeping on beds and couches and the floor. And in the midst of all that confusion, my brother was reading a book called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And so I asked him, Rick, what are you looking at? What are you reading? And he told me what the book was. I picked it up, started reading it myself, and put me on a journey to be a forever learner. And so at 64, I still spend time reading blogs, listening to podcasts, and reading books on leadership. And over the course of the last 30 years, the primary principle that speaks to me in terms of leadership and the importance of it comes from the book of Mark, starting in chapter 10, verse 35, where it says, "Then James and John, sons of Zebedee, came over and spoke to him. 'Teacher,' they said, 'we want you to do us a favor.' 'What is it?' he asked. 'In your glorious kingdom, we want to sit in places of honor next to you,' they said. 'One at your right and the other at your left.'" Well, he had some choice words for them, and then he goes on later and he says, "When the 10 other disciples discovered what James and John had asked, they were indignant. So Jesus called them together and said, 'You know that in the world kings are tyrants and officials lord over the people beneath them. But among you it should be quite different. Whoever wants to be a leader among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be slave of all. For even I, the Son of Man, came here not to be served, but to serve others, and to give my life as a ransom for many." And from that verse, I take away a few things of importance for any leader. First is you have to have humility. So what was James and John asking for? They're asking for a place of authority, a place to be of importance. And Jesus says, man, if you're going to be a leader, you have to have humility. Second thing is you have to listen well. A biblical leader listens for what they're actually asking, what people need to hear. So as a leader, as a biblical leader, you want to listen well. So you have to have humility. It's not about you. It's about what God's called you to do. It's about the mission of the organization that you lead. And then it's about listening well to those around you so you know how to address and answer questions appropriately and well. And thirdly, you have to care. You have to have empathy for those that you lead. Starting point should be, it's not what they can do for me, but what I can do for them. A servant leader cares more about the people that they lead than about themselves. They're focused on meeting the needs, helping that person they lead grow and become a better employee, a better father, a better husband. It's about helping them grow and become more. And then you need to be committed to growing others, the people around them. So you want the best for them. You want them to become better people, better leaders. Servant leaders don't think less of themselves. They think less about themselves. The most important characteristic of a leader is first, you must be a servant.